I'm Donald Leggett, and welcome to the latest London South East CEO interview. I'm joined today by Graham Clarke, CEO at soon-to-be AIM-listed Emmerson plc, who are developing a low-cost, high-margin mine at Khemisset in Northern Morocco. Emmerson recently raised over £5 million from shareholders to continue development work and have a market cap of around £46 million as of today. Welcome, Graham, and thanks for joining us for an operational update today.
Hi, Donald. Yes, it's a pleasure to be talking to you today.
Great. No, the pleasure is mine, Graham. I've been following Emmerson for a few years now, and a very interesting company you are too. So this is our first interview with you since you took over as CEO at Emmerson, Graham. So perhaps we could start with the £5.5 million, which was raised last month. Presumably that brought welcome stability. What does that get spent on?
Okay, well, it's a variety of things. Yes, it does give us some stability. So, it gives us some money in the bank so that we can continue discussions with potential strategic partners from a position of strength. But also it allows us to do some activity on the ground. So we've got a program of site investigation work to do. Some of that's the sort of shallow work to identify the areas where the process plant will be and the tailings facility. But also we're going to drill down the length of the decline so that we can de-risk that as far as is absolutely possible, and drill a couple of additional deeper holes into the early mining areas for the project. So it'll allow us to do all of that work, and information we gather from that will feed into early design. So we want to get on with the design work, front-end engineering, detailed design for the decline, because that obviously is a critical path to get us into the resource once we commence construction. So it really does allow us to crack on and make some substantial progress.
If I could just stop you there, that must be actually quite exciting to be actually planning for the decline and so on, and actually planning the site out. I mean, that must make your heart sing just a little bit.
No, absolutely. I mean, I joined the project in July of last year, and at a very exciting time. The team had made good progress, but we're now coming down to this year is a really big year. We have to tick off a few milestones, but the aim is to be in construction at the end of the year. So we need our environmental permission, which we're very confident we'll get in the next month or so, having already got the mining license. That gives us the ability to actually do the development, and then get the funding in place. Obviously, is the primary objective for this year, with a view that we can start early construction works at the end of this year. So
has most of the work on the environmental permitting actually been done?
Yeah, so the team have done a great job there. All of the environmental and social impact assessment done to World Bank standards, over and above the minimum requirements in Morocco. But we have to do this right, and that is something we're saying, and we keep repeating it. Do the right things and do them in the right way, and it is important. It's a very simple way of describing it, but we have a responsibility, and we have to fulfil that. So we've done everything to the highest standards. So we're very confident that permission will come through. That stands us in great stead, both in the country, but also, anybody doing due diligence on the project knows that we've done it, as it should be done. And that really is important to us as a company.
Okay, let me turn to project financing then. That really appears to be the next big stepping stone for you. What are the financing options? Debt, equity, strategic partnerships? And what do you fancy out of those? What kind of combination do you see it as potentially being?
Well, it will be
over what timeline?
Well, it will be a combination of all of those things. We're very keen to pull in a strategic investor, strategic partner in the sort of short to medium term. That will help us then reduce the amount of equity we need for the large raise prior to construction commencing, and that will be a combination of debt and equity. We're confident that we can get a good balance between the two, potentially 70-30 split. There's a lot of work going on with the debt structure.
70-30 which way?
Debt to equity, so 70% debt. And we're well on with the debt process, talking to banks, talking to export credit agencies. So, there's a lot of work going on with that. But obviously the equity is the key to unlocking that. So a strategic partner is something that is important to us.
You've just added James Kelly to the board. He founded Greenstone Resources and Trident Royalties, who I interviewed a couple of days ago. So what does James bring in terms of project finance?
Well, I think, first and foremost is experience, coming onto the board and its current, real experience of what's happening now out there. We will have to make decisions on what is the best balance, what is the best combination to get the funding in place. And he's ideally placed to advise on that and potentially help us, bring it in and actually put it in place. So, it's a great time for him to join us, and I'm very much looking forward to working with James.
Okay, he's also a exec or non-exec chairman at Trident Royalties. Would a royalty be an option in terms of the funding? Do you think?
Well, I think one thing that we've set ourselves out to do is to look at every option. That's really important. Getting this funded and built and into operations is when the real value comes out. Failing to get it funded, delivers nothing to anybody. So, we are open to any option. One thing I will say is this project has high margins. You mentioned that at the beginning, Donald. So, with a high margin project, a royalty deal is most definitely an option that we would consider, and that could well form part of what we end up with. Nothing certain, but we are open, as I say, to looking at different opportunities.
Flexibility is the key, you said to me off camera.
Absolutely, yes. We have to be flexible. We have a responsibility to do the best deals that we can to get the funding in place. But we have to get the funding in place, and that means that you have to open your eyes to any opportunity that's out there.
Okay, price of potash. Where is the price of potash at the moment, and what level of demand for your kind of potash is predicted over the next few years?
Well, I think the sort of fundamentals are that fertilizers in general and potash, the demand is increasing 2 to 3% per year ongoing. So that in reality is 2 Khemisset-sized projects every year just to meet the increase in demand. So, there's no question that there will be a demand for the product. In terms of price, we're just coming out of a bit of a low. I've been in the potash industry for 30 odd years, worked for one of the major producers, so I'm very aware of how the price fluctuates. It fluctuates a lot less than many other in many other sectors. There's no boom or bust as such. A very controlled market. The producers control the supply and to meet the demand to keep the price reasonably stable. But we are coming out of a low. We're now back over $300 a ton and climbing, and the predictions are that the price will get to, in the short to medium term, back to around the $400 a ton level. And with our production costs being down around the $150 a ton, significant margins for us. And significant margins for us really no matter what the potash price is, and that's one of the standout features of this project. You can see, the crop prices are a very good indicator of fertilizer prices, of what fertilizer prices are going to be. Crop prices have been increasing for the last 6 to 12 months, and that is the indicator that the potash price will continue to increase.
Okay, let me take you to offtake agreements and routes to market in Africa and beyond. So it's been a while since we've talked. Where are you with all those?
Well, we're sort of protecting our products at the moment, and we're not rushing into signing any offtake deals for the potash. One of the key strategic advantages we have is that we are an independent producer, independent of the large producers who control the market. And in the fertilizer world, a lot of the fertilizer producers who don't have their own potash have to buy it from their competitors. So the likes of Yara and OCP, very close to home, obviously in Morocco, produce NPK fertilizers. They have to buy the potash from their competitors in the fertilizer world and import it into Morocco. So, when you look at, potential customers, we have one very close to home, actually in the country, who are importing 300,000 to 400,000 tons of MOP every year into Morocco. So, and the African market is going to grow, substantially. Africa is going to have to become a net exporter of food for the world to be able to feed itself. And it's an area, part of the world where there's, the application rates of fertilizers generally are very low, and they're going to increase substantially. So there will be markets very close to home. We're keeping our product available, and that will be a trump card in our ongoing discussions with potential strategic partners.
So why have you decided to move from the main market listing to AIM? Tell us all.
Well, it's very simply flexibility. We've used that word a couple of times. So, I think it's for where the company is and what we need to achieve, it's the right place for us to be. It enables us to move quickly should an opportunity arise, which will, be the right opportunity for us to move forward with the funding, bring in a partner, and deliver the best value for the shareholders. That's what we're setting out to do. We see this as the best place to be, to give us that flexibility to take advantage of opportunities as they come along.
Presumably it makes very little difference to the shareholders.
No, very little difference. There's no impact. Only hopefully a positive one by us being in the right place at the right time to raise the funds and build this project. That's what we're here to do, and that's our only target.
Okay, final question. What kind of news flow can we expect from Emmerson over the next few months? So a fairly detailed list of news flow you expect would be gratefully received.
Well, the environmental approval, that is coming. We're well into that process. We've been through the process of public inquiry without any issues being raised. So it's back now with the authorities, and we'll be meeting them in the coming weeks. So that will be coming soon, and we're very confident of that. We've been doing some work, and we actually announced it fairly recently. We're looking at the option for a phased approach to the project development, and that is both to look at a initial lower capex, smaller output operation, which isn't our choice, but it gives us more flexibility if we can identify that we can do that. But more importantly then, expanding the project. So bringing in the potential for more salt production. We've assumed 1 million tons of salt sales. There is the potential for more, and all of those byproduct credits go straight to the bottom line. Bringing in the SOP, and we have commenced a detailed study on the SOP opportunity, and we're also have been looking at potentially expanding the project. The 19-year mine life is from less than 50% of the resource that we have. We now have the permission to mine with the mining license, so we're looking at the opportunity to expand production to increase our annual output. So we will be updating the market on that in the not too distant future. And to me, that is just another demonstration of the huge potential that this project has and the huge value that it can generate. And then going beyond that, we are engaged with numerous parties who could be the right strategic partner for us, and we will update the market as and when it's appropriate to do so in regard to that.
Okay, thank you very much indeed, Graham Clarke. Thank you for that operational update. He's the CEO at Emmerson. As you've just heard, they're making more than steady progress as they develop a potash mine at Khemisset in Northern Morocco. Please do follow us on Twitter at London Southeast, and do think about subscribing to our YouTube channel to receive alerts for interviews like this one. And finally, thanks for watching and stay safe.